All right, let's go for the tube. Say what up, tube.
What up, tube?
What up, tube.
What up, tube?
All right, and last but certainly not least, as always, let's go for the pod in three, two. Whoops, I totally messed that up. I hit the button before I ever said 3, 2, 1. All right, in 3, 2, and 1.
Welcome to another episode of
Business Bros. There it is.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Hernancius here, host of the Business Bros podcast, along with my co-host,
the insurance bro, James C.S. with Pipeline Insurance. And as always, we have another exciting, wonderful, fun-filled show ready to go for you. But first,
SHIT.
So happy it's Thursday.
Woo! What up, ladies and gentlemen? Before we get started, I gotta always remind you guys, which, you know, I started thinking about this, by the way, before I remind you about the shoe drive, right? The things we say consistently.
The things we say consistently.
Remind me the things we say consistently. Listeners, remind us. If you're on Facebook, in a second, write it down so that I can come back to it. Otherwise, I might lose my train of thought. But anyways, 365 pairs of shoes by the end of the year. If you have new shoes, used shoes, or you want to donate cash, hit James up 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com, and he'll ride over in his Harley and pick up those shoes. He brought over another pair of shoes from, did you say it was from Nate?
Yeah, Natividad Marine, one of our Pipeline Insurance agents. So thank you very much, Nate. You are awesome.
Lizzie Lee's got some more shoes for us, too.
What? Word.
She put together a mastermind group. It was kind of like, hey, I want to put together a mastermind group. What do you guys think? And boom, 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 boom. People like started putting it together. I think it's going to happen next week. So
nice.
She told me, hey, by the way, I got some shoes for you, too. I was like, perfect. Love
rad.
it. So, yeah, shoe drive's
Lizzie
going up.
Lee, you are awesome.
Our thermometer still says 229, but based on just the one pair of shoes that we brought in, that makes us 230 plus the 15 you still have in your bag. So that puts it at about 245.
I'll bring them tomorrow for sure because I got to ride out and see Dubs.
See? So 245 plus another pickup. So thank you guys very much for all the donations. We really appreciate it. You know, it's going to make some homeless people very happy. And we appreciate, you know, the kind-hearted gestures that you guys have by collecting the shoes and helping us get to that goal. So thank you very much. Consistency.
The things we say all the time.
The things we say all the time. So one of the things I've noticed is when I bump into people outside of the program, right, or even people that come over as guests, they always mention the shoe drive. Right? Mm-hmm. They're always mentioning the shoe drive. And I love that fact. You know, how's the shoe drive going? You know, I got some shoes that you can pick up, all these different things. But you know what I don't say on the show all the time?
What's that?
We don't talk about Pipeline Insurance every single day.
We really don't.
And it's weird because, you know, that's the actual business that we're in.
That is the actual factual business that we're in.
So I started thinking about that. And, you know, I say a lot of things on the show like, you know, you want to do something, you need to be consistent on what you're doing, right? You need to wake up at whatever time you're going to wake up at the same time every single day. You need to do the little things, the small habits that you have to get into on a daily basis so that they become large results, right? So we talk about it all the time. And yet sometimes, you know, problems cannot be solved by the same level of thinking that created them.
Fair enough.
So it came from an outside thing. You know, somebody's like, well, why aren't you talking about your insurance company as often? Well, that's a good question. I don't know why. So I think one of the things we need to do is we need to be talking about that every single day at the beginning of the show. Talk about, you know, Pipeline Insurance is our company. It's one of essentially our sponsor because that's how we pay the bills. Well, that's how you pay the bills, right? Yes, so it's making sure Pipeline Insurance is what makes our
world go round.
Our world go round. So we're going to let you guys know every single episode if you have an insurance need. I don't care what kind of insurance need it is. It could be life, it could be health, it could be commercial, it could be home, it could be auto, whatever it is. I want you to make sure you hit up James 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. Pipeline Insurance is here ready to serve you and your clients.
Woo woo! I like it.
I gotta say it every single show. I don't know why we haven't been doing it. 300 episodes in and we don't do it.
300 episodes in and we just say with Pipeline Insurance. I'm James C.S. with Pipeline Insurance. That's about the most we ever say.
That's the most we ever talk about it. Well, look, I mean, and there's so many. We've built so many things with our company. We've given the opportunity for people who want to get into the insurance business. We're here for you. If you have an existing business and you want to increase your bottom line, insurance is here to help you. Like, we're here to help you, and we just got to make sure that I say it often enough so that people hear it. Pipeline Insurance, yo. That's where it's at.
Pipeline Insurance. That's where it's at. Okay, so
all right. So show over, and we're done for the day.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Just kidding. Just kidding. Hang out a minute.
Just kidding.
What are we planning to talk about today, though?
Oh, I don't know. No, I'm just playing. No,
you don't got nothing?
What? No plan?
No plan.
Is that like us?
No, we never ad-lib. We never ad-lib. We
have it all planned out.
Yeah,
every single time.
Every single time. We've been doing this for 310 episodes, and we have never planned a single one.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
bold-faced lie.
That is a bold-faced lie. We planned like the first 70. You remember that when we were doing all of that?
Yeah, and it was one of those things where like just to get started, right? We had no clue what we were doing this whole podcast thing, right? And that's usually the case with a lot of the things that you're doing out there as far as your marketing is concerned. Maybe when you first get into the business, even when you've been in the business for a while, maybe you're, for example, a real estate agent that's been in the business for a few years and you've been closing, 7 to 12 transactions every year and it's been consistent, but you want to go to the next level and you maybe don't exactly know what you're supposed to do to go to the next level. And that's when you start to dabble and take some risks, right? You try out different things, you try out different spokes, you take a risk on something and you realize maybe that was not the thing that I want to do. You try something else, but how do you actually figure out that one thing that works for you? What do you think is going to be that, because on the one hand, right, here's the argument that I always hear when I talk to people about trying things, right? On the one hand, it's you give it the old college try.
The old college try.
For sale by owners and expireds, for example. Every realtor knows that's low-hanging fruit. Right. It's easy to get FSBOs and expireds. Well, I can't say easy to get. It's easy to go after. Not as easy to get, right? So it's easy to go after FSBOs and expireds.
In other words, you can get that list pretty easily.
You can get the list pretty easily. You see the expireds that go off in the MLS. Like, you have access to this information. But it does require that you pick up the phone. It does require that you knock on some doors. It does require that you follow up multiple times. And I think that's where the falling off happens to most people. It's not the first attempt, right? It's like you can even take it to physical fitness, right? Going to the gym. It's not the first time you go to the gym that's a big problem. It's usually not even the second time. It's maybe the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh. It's the ones that are after that become the problem. Like, it's that getting beyond that comfort zone. That's where the challenge is. And so, for us in the show to get started, we didn't really know what we were doing. We really modeled our show at the beginning around the shows that we listened to. So we said, okay, well, they're doing pretty good at it. Let's do it that way.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's how we first got started. So at the beginning of the podcast, this podcast series, or our podcast series, if you go back, we're essentially going through an outline because we would outline every single show.
We did.
From beginning to from reading the intro to every single point that we talked about. Now, we didn't read line by line, right? That's not what we did. We had an outline, so we had a general idea of what we were going to say. These are the points that we wanted to cover, and then we shared our experiences on those particular points and our point of view on those particular points. But it was still something that we mapped out from the beginning. And we did that for we would have sessions where you and I would just sit down and say, okay, well, let's map out the next 5 shows.
Yep.
And we would map out exactly what we're going to say for the next 5 shows. Every single topic, title, what we were talking about at the beginning. Are we going to change a little bit our intro? Maybe we don't like these lines. We should change this, try this. And so that's how we got started. And after a while, it became second nature. We didn't have to read the script anymore for the intro. It was something that we memorized. We knew exactly what we were going to say. We would talk about a topic and we would look at the outline less and less because we knew how we were going to talk about it on the show. And then, then we morphed into the interview process. My point for you listeners out there is there are a number of things that you can do. And as long as you continue to do them, you will get better.
Going back to
the FSBOs and expireds.
Go back to the things that we always say, right? Some of those things that we always say is success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Yes. So in other words, if your worthy ideal is to have a successful podcast and you continue to work towards that goal, you're gonna be a success because it's a constant thing. It's the thing that you always talk about with Rosa. She's been, the most successful that
the most successful person I know, because she's doing exactly what she's been wanting to do.
Exactly what she's always wanted to do.
And not just that, is so Rosa's the wife, for those of you who don't know, and she teaches 10th grade English and drama, and she's been doing it for 10, 12 years, something like that. I think it's 12 years. Or maybe 13 years, I don't know. But anyways,
go with 10.
You would think,
play it safe.
Yeah, play it safe. Go with 10. You would think that after 10 years, she'd have it all nailed in, right? Like, she knows exactly what she's going to do every single day. She knows what the lessons are going to be. And it's like dialed in. You have it all done, and you're just, you're teaching and repeat.
Plug and play.
Right? But it's not the way for her, because every year she takes a lesson that she's done, and then, yes, she has a basic concept now, but she improves upon it. She like rewrites questions or rewrites the way she wants to approach it. Or maybe last year it got half the class's attention, but she changes certain things so that it gets 75% of the class's attention. But she's always trying to get more and more and take things to a higher level. And that's that process of doing things consistently, trying it out, then turning around and analyzing what happened, assessing how well it went, and then modifying and trying it again. It's a continuation of doing things on a regular basis to get better and better. So when I hear people, especially in the sales industry, when I can go back to the FSBOs and expireds, a lot of times what I hear realtors do is they go, I tried it and it didn't work for me, right? I tried it and it didn't pan out. I went and I called, but I didn't get any appointments. I didn't get any leads. It didn't go anywhere. I didn't close any deals. I didn't do that. That's not for me. Right. And so, and that's why I said it's the old college try. It's you dabbled in it. You didn't become good at it. Like, I understand that some people are like, okay, you know what? Picking up the phones, I don't want to do that. Okay, but what is it that you're going to do? What is the thing that's going to get you the next sale? It's kind of like, I'll give you my own personal example. And this is like one of those vulnerability things, right? I want to attract...
A vulnerable moment.
I want to attract...
We need like some kind of music, like...
Just in the background?
Yeah, just something really soft and like mellow and like... La, 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 la. I don't know. Just some good, All right, go ahead. Vulnerable moment now.
Vulnerable moment. Okay, mellow, vulnerable moment. Okay, so I want to attract more agents into Pipeline Insurance, right? We're at like 42 agents, and I want to make sure that we attract more agents. Now, I can go about it two ways. I can just put out a bunch of stuff and see who comes in, or I can target something specifically. Right now, we're targeting specifically mortgage people. Now, here's where I'm falling off the ladder, and I'm holding myself accountable by telling you guys, just as much as you were probably falling off the ladder and not doing exactly what you should be doing. When we had Jimmy on the show, right, he gave me, he said something that I thought was really interesting. He's like, I only work 3 days a week. So on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I set 3 appointment times. And what I do the rest of the time, the rest of the week, is I try to fill up those appointments. So I have 9 appointments that are my goal. I need to attain 9 appointments this week. What am I doing to attain 9 appointments? To talk to 9 mortgage professionals. And so, every time I think of that, that's where I fall short. You look at any successful real estate person, any successful loan person, any successful salesperson, the biggest thing they focus their attention on is setting the appointment and going on the appointment. Mm-hmm. Because if you're not in front of somebody with the ability to tell you no, if you're not vulnerable enough to stand in front of somebody, tell them what it is that you offer, and with the potential of them saying, get out of here, no, I don't want to hear that, then you're not really putting yourself in a sales position. You're just not, right? We'll end up doing the passive things. For example, I just finished doing a parody for dronequote.net, by the way, one of our show sponsors. So if you want to go to dronequote.net/businessbros to help you with all your solar needs, send a drone over to your home, measure out the rooftops via picture, send the information to a roofing contractor, to a solar contractor, to a solar company, and then you get all the quotes right here in one spot. Pick the best solar company that works for you. Boom, simple, easy, save yourself time, dronequote.net, right? They're one of our show sponsors. So you hear that from us on a regular basis. But I'm doing something to help sell more of their product. I completed the parody, which James heard today.
Yep. It was awesome. It was great. Y'all are gonna love it.
You guys are gonna love it. Oh, I hope you love it. I hope it's funny enough. But anyways, however, I made a parody video, or I'm making a parody video. I, wrote a parody song. I recorded all that. None of those things put me in front of somebody with the ability to say yes or no in a sales situation.
It's true.
So yes, I have fun doing the parody. Yes, I like recording it and making the video. Those are fun, but they are not dollar productive activities if they're not putting me in a position to hear no from a potential client, right? So
that's the trick.
And that's the thing. You have to be upfront with yourself. You have to understand what it is you're doing on a regular basis, and is it helping you attain the goal that you want to attain? If your goal is to sell more houses, how many people are you talking to about real estate on a daily basis and asking for the business or the referral? If you're not asking for the business or the referral, you're not working. You might have created a flyer as a salesperson. You might have created a flyer. You might have updated your CRM. You might have worked on your website. You might have made some videos on Facebook and Instagram. But did you talk to a potential home buyer or seller today? Did you do that? If you didn't, then you did not work today. And that's how I look at it as the things that I'm doing. What things on a consistent level am I doing to get me to the next goal? And if I don't do those things, when I journal at the end of the day or when I journal in the morning, I reflect on those things, and I have to be 100% honest with myself. This week I was not productive, or today I was not productive. It doesn't mean you didn't do anything. You did things. I did do things. I was just not dollar productive. And I think that's one of those misconceptions that I think a lot of times you don't even look in the mirror and tell yourself that. You kind of act like you work. Like, one of the coolest things I've ever heard was, if there was a video camera following you every single day, right? And you knew your spouse was going to look at that video and then determine whether you worked or not, did you work? That's a toughie.
That is.
Right?
Yeah.
Because honestly, there's some times where you're like at work, at the office, but you're on your cell phone.
Right.
But you're checking your Instagram. But, you're having an extended long lunch. But you're talking to other realtors. Right? Like,
whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Mastermind groups are amazing. I'm going to go to, Lizzie's mastermind group, and where I'm going to meet a lot of realtors, and it's going to be a good time. I'm going to learn from each other. But the time that I spend there is time that I'm not spending in front of somebody who can make a buying decision or a selling decision. You just need to understand and be honest with yourself and reflect on what you're doing in your day. So I have this spreadsheet that I can share with you guys if you guys want. Hernan@csfirst.com or 619-884-4915. Hit me up. It's called the spending game. And if you're in real estate, this is perfect for you. The objective is to get 50 points in a day, every single day. And there are certain activities on the left side of this Excel sheet. And then there's a number of days on the bottom. So 1 through 31, right? Depending on what month we're in. And each of the activities is worth a certain amount of points. So for example, if you make 5 phone calls, if you talk to 5 people about real estate, you get 5 points for the day. Your objective is to get 50 points every day. If you get 50 points every day, it means you were working that day. And if you are doing things that are putting you in a position to help somebody buy or sell real estate, you're going to make money. You're going to close more deals. You're going to have more transactions. You're going to get more money.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's real estate or insurance or anything else.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, that's my next thing, is, dude, I just finally got that stupid life license. And
congrats!
Yeah.
I didn't even ask you about that.
Oh, yeah. I passed the test on Monday.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's opening up that door, and I love it most of all because it aligns perfectly with my why statement, which is to empower others so that together we can create a better life for you today and create generational wealth for tomorrow. And that's really what life insurance does.
It really does.
Hey, Andre says he needs that list.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, shoot me an email. Again, Hernan@csfirst.com. I think my banner's up here, I think. Usually James throws that up there. James is going to throw it up there. And so shoot me an email. I'll send it to you. It's called the daily spending or daily activity game, or no, something like that. I forgot what it's called. But it's easy to use, and it kind of tracks what you're doing. Again, 50 points a day. And honestly, that you don't really have to work that hard to achieve that 50 points a day. Like if you start at 9 o'clock, I guarantee you, if you do what you're supposed to do for the next 3 hours, by noon, you'll be done. Like you'll be done setting all your appointments for the day. And then you can only, if you want to work the 3 days a week, like Jimmy was saying, you'll have your 9 appointments. And what could you do if you went on 9 appointments a day? 9 appointments a week. I mean, how many of those, even if you suck, if your closing ratio is 50%, which is failing, by the way, right? 50% means you close 4.5 or you get 4.5 of those appointments that you go on. That's not bad. 4.5 times 4 weeks, you're looking at what, 16 to 18?
Look at you with
in a month. I mean, I'm just saying, like, your job is to get that appointment. That's your one and only job. Everything else is secondary. And then once you get to that point, now we can start talking about different things like scaling. Like at that point, now you're spending a lot of time going to your listings and taking care of this and taking care of that. And now we're trying to build systems in place and all that other stuff. But step 1, you need to get control of what you're doing on a daily basis. Step 1, you need to be the person who's selling, who's actually making these transactions happen. If you have the revenue coming in, we can do stuff on the other end. Now we can talk about systematizing, scaling, and doing all those other things. But step number 1, you got to be honest with yourself. Are you in business? And if you are you doing dollar productive activities on a daily basis? Like, nobody's going to tell you anything. You can lie to everybody else. You can put it on your Instagram and it looks really cool. But at the end of the day, did you work? If your spouse watched what you did today, could you legitimately say, I worked today?
Or would your spouse be really upset and say, you didn't do shit?
Exactly. Right? So, I mean, that's the metric. It's always an accountability thing. Always comes down to accountability. Because and that's why having a coach, that's why having, even if it's just somebody like a mentor or, a personal consultant, ding, right? To have somebody to talk to on a regular basis, to ask you these hard questions, to keep you accountable. That's why it's important to have those. Even the most successful people in the world have coaches, because we all fall prey to just becoming complacent with ourselves. That's what's happening. That honestly is what's happening to me in the last, let's say, like 4 or 5 months. I have not been, like, if I'm honest with myself, I have not been a salesperson in the last 4 or 5 months. I've been learning this thing called podcasting, which is awesome. I've been learning this thing called having a conversation with people, which is amazing. I've been doing a lot of things, but selling has not been one of them. Right? And the only one to blame is me, because I'm the one who's stopping myself from doing it. I find other things. Selling? Oh, there's a lot of things that we can sell at this point. But I was having this discussion with you, I think, on the show the other day, where I was like, look, I could be recruiting agents for pipeline. I could be doing the EXP attraction, right? I could be doing, what else? Client referrals. Like I still have my real estate license, right? So I can be going after clientele and referring it out to agents. There are a lot of things that I can be doing that are dollar productive activities, but have I done them? That's always the key, right?
Yep.
We all know what we should do, but do we do it?
Do we do it?
Do we do it? And I mean, if you're listening to this, I mean, I'm hoping it's like a gut check, right? I'm hoping you're thinking, oh crap, you know what? I didn't today. I didn't work today. I did things. But I did not work. And if we can just define that for a sales person, for a 1099 person, define what work is for you. Work for you is not going to the office at 9 o'clock and leaving at 5 o'clock. That's horse crap. That's what a W-2 employee does. That's how they work. They're not required to have a quota or anything like that. Maybe some of them are, I don't know. But most of them, it's clock in at 9, clock out at 5. You don't live like that. You don't clock in and clock out with nobody at any time. That's why you're a 1099 employee. So you need to redefine what work means to you. Work to you is getting in front of a decision maker and asking for the business or the referral. That's it. If you're not doing that, if you're not in that position, you are not working.
It's true.
Humbling, ain't it?
You've been listening to Tim and Julie Harris, haven't you?
Actually, yeah. Well, earlier in the week I was, yeah. Nah, it was just one of those kind of realizations. I mean, I was kind of reflecting on myself because I see my bank account, and if my bank account's not going up consistently, I'm like, okay, dude, what's going on here? Right? So, and I have to like really reflect. I'm like, I feel like I'm working. And here's the other thing. It's a perspective thing, right? So people see that we post the podcast every single day. So like, hey, you're working. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm putting a podcast out every day, but is that work? Right?
Right.
Like I'm going to a mastermind or I'm going to a networking event with other realtors and lenders, but is that work? Is that work? You need to really ask yourself, are the things I'm doing on a daily basis work? Am I putting myself in a position to hear no? And if I'm not, then I'm not working. So I've done a lot. I go to the gym at 5 in the morning. Now I'll tell you when I do work, when I clock in at school in the morning,
there you go,
teach kids, and then I clock out. That time is work because I am being paid for that time, right? But when it comes to my sales job, have I been quote unquote working? Not in the past like 5 or 6 months, I haven't. And I have nobody to blame but myself. So I want you listeners to kind of think of the same thing. Are you working? Are you exactly where you need to be? The fourth quarter is here. So now you have time to reflect. We have 3 quarters to reflect on. How was your first quarter? January, February, March. How was your second quarter? April, May, and June. How was your third quarter? July, August, September, right? Had to do it real quick in my head. Time has gone by. There's 9 months that have gone throughout the year. Have you been productive? Have you met the goal that you wanted to meet? I like what Big Block does, by the way, when they post the, this is the, do you see it when they post top 10 producers for the month?
I see it when somebody posts it.
Yeah, sometimes like Jonathan's on there, Francisco's on there, like a bunch of different Courtney's on there. Like, yeah. People that we've had on the show, which is really awesome to see, by the way.
It is.
Right? So look at the months. Some of you guys have had tremendous years. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, like the Gabes of the year, I think he's like close to 50 or over 50 transactions this year, right? Him and his team, which is great, right? So if you're doing exactly what you wanted to be doing, then maybe this isn't for you. You're actually probably doing the work that you need to be doing. But if you're not where you wanted to be, if you're not making the money that you wanted, if you're short a number of transactions at this point, if you're trying to hustle this last couple weeks before Thanksgiving break and before Christmas holiday to try to make those last deals happen, you might be too late. The sales cycle is about 90 days from the moment you meet somebody. I would even go as far as to say about 6 months. From the moment you meet somebody to the moment you close escrow, you could be looking at least 90 days, but usually it's more like 6 months, right? Between you meet them, you court them, like dating type thing. You get them pre-approved, and then you finally get them showing. You finally get them in escrow, all these different things. Or a homeowner, they're thinking about selling, and they finally decide it's time to sell. They prepare the home, and it's a process. Yeah. So if you're thinking that I'm going to find a client today and close before the end of the year, possible,
maybe,
but not likely, right? Possible, but not likely.
Especially with the holidays, it just extends it.
Exactly. So reflect back what's going to happen. Prepare yourself now. Start doing the work now so that you start off the first quarter of next year running. But it takes work, and you need to define what work is for you. If you're a 9-to-5er, again, clock in, clock out, you're good to go. Speaking of work, at Pipeline Insurance, we are hiring. We're actually looking for somebody to come in and have a 9-to-5 working job. So if you know of anybody, we're looking for an admin. We're only hiring cool-ass people, so make sure they're cool people. And it'll be 9-to-5. It'll have to be 9-to-5, and it'll be at our Coronado office here in sunny San Diego. So you'll be working right alongside of James and our manager, Corey. And it's a cool office. We have a great culture. It's fun. You're going to have fun there. So if you know of anybody interested,
and if you're not having fun there, we don't want to work with you.
Yeah, if you're not having fun, yeah. What is it? I heard Gary Vee say something about having employees. He said, hiring is guessing, firing is knowing.
Nice.
So, we're open, but we want somebody that's going to be part of the team, help us grow, and they have opportunities to rise up in our company as well. So this is an administrative. We're always looking for agents. So if you're thinking of adding, insurance into your business, or you want to become an insurance agent, maybe you're in some other industry and you're done with it, you want to try something else, we're always looking for insurance agents.
By the way, I had an orientation with 2 new agents today, and one of them is a mortgage lender. So she is adding insurance into her office. So not only is she going to be providing loans, but she's also going to follow up and provide the insurance for those loans. By the way, that is not a violation of NMLS, RESPA, not a violation. You only cannot require them to purchase your insurance. You can always offer it though.
Exactly. And that model is exactly what we want to do for you.
That's it.
Now,
so easy.
And we have
residual income.
And we give you two choices. One, you can actually become the insurance agent, earn a higher contract, or stick doing the loan. We'll do all the work for you, and we'll still cut you a check. So, look, the option is here.
How do you want to do it?
How do you want to do it, right? It's all about that bottom line. But anyways.
Money.
Yeah. Money. Joker?
Yeah.
He was good at that, breaking the ice all the time. But look, it still comes down to work. Nothing happens for free. It still requires you to get off your butt, get in front of somebody, tell them what it is you do, ask for the business. So hopefully...
We're going to be doing more of that too.
We're going to be doing... Hopefully, I'm throwing it out there to you and telling you that, look, complacency happens to everybody. I mean, there was a time when I was on fire and making phone calls on a daily basis. And then I switched. But it's okay, no matter what. If you find yourself in a hole, stop digging, right?
Oh, yeah.
Got to hit the ignore button right there.
Hit that ignore button.
So if you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. And just figure out what it is you do want, and let's create a path forward. If you have no clue, if you're just in the business and not really knowing where you want to go from here going forward, hit me up, hernan@csfirst.com. We'll sit down, we'll have lunch, we'll talk about exactly where you are and where you want to go. I love doing that and helping people out, giving you ideas. And if you need an accountability partner, maybe it'll be a Facebook thing. Just like I do the gym in the morning, I don't tag people, and you don't see that post on the Facebook thing because I just want to post. I do it because I'm trying to hold myself accountable to other people, because otherwise I might not get up in the morning. So maybe you need an accountability partner. I'm open. I'm game. You can hold me accountable to make sure I'm keeping my sales quotas the same, and we can rise up and be successful together. That's what it's all about. All right, ladies and gents, quick reminder. We are an insurance company, Pipeline Insurance. So if you need help with your insurance, or you want to add insurance into your business, hit James up 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. And we'll help you with licensing. We'll help you with servicing. We'll help you with cutting you a check, because that's what we want to do. Next, dronequote.net/business bros is where you need to go for all your solar needs. Make it easy. Stop tripping on all these solar people knocking on your door. Just make it easy. Tell them, sorry, dronequote.net is what I did. You'll hear about that later. And lastly, 365 pairs of shoes is what we're shooting for. So if you have new shoes, used shoes, or you want to donate cash, hit James up 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. Guys, thanks for joining us on the program. Hopefully I got to you. Let me know. Drop a comment below. If you haven't done so already, head over to iTunes, head over to Spotify, wherever. Hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, leave us a comment or a review, 5 stars, please. And, oh yeah, hit YouTube, by the way. We're trying to plug our YouTube page.
YouTube.
So hit us up on YouTube. Check out the videos. You can see this ugly mug on there and that ugly mug on there and all our beautiful guests that have been on the show. So
nice.
Anything else you guys got for today? James, you got anything else before we go? All right. That's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Stay positive.
And I'm out.
Boom. There it is. Bye, Facebook.
Didn't know what to talk about.